world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body knows right. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. trouble, putting on a show. Like a domino, I fall. Another bottle, don't know what to say. Send me on my way to you. I know you're all that I want, but I don't even know your name. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way. And you say it's a one night thing, but I want something more than that. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way. Eyes wide open, holding out for you. Tell me that it's true. Oh, did you notice? I saw you over there, looking like a heartbreaker. I know you're all that I want, but I don't even know your name. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way. And you say it's a one night thing, but I want something more than that. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way. So don't go and leave me lonely. I'll show you another way.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday night, where it is the race here this week at Zandvoort for round 3. Let me just turn that music off. There we go. So yes, we are round 3 this week here at Zandvoort. Just waiting on a couple more. Decide if you're in or out, you stupid animal. Don't push the bloody door open. Sorry. Right, so just making sure we got everyone in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. 15. Ideal. So hope we're all having an amazing time this weekend. Hopefully the weather isn't too bad for you all. Right, I just need to set up a a few things, so give me a second. That wasn't what I wanted. That one. Right, so turn that down to about there because that overpowered me last week. Hopefully you can all hear me well. Let's just do, there we go. Okay, still got 4 minutes left. But yes, we got new driver today, Hucky. He will be racing in the Aston Martin this weekend. We've got Race Next, Guesty, Zazoos, and others. Let's see if we can quickly go through the table. Is it that one? Yes, it is. So, currently in first place, who's not racing tonight, is Osmingo. He is in first place with 48 points. Squirrel in second with 47. Avi next with... No. Username next with 30. And then in fourth, we've got RB with 29. Lipman in fifth. Harry in sixth. Zen in seventh. Kingmaster in eighth. Magster in ninth. Kitchi in 10th. Wheat Dog in 11th. Zazu 12th. G-Dan 13th. Guesty Ben, who has returned this season, who is now racing in the Kicksauber, is 14th. Quo in 15th. Air in 16th. Young Sappy 17th. 18th is Axim. 19th is Makeup Sum. So on and so forth. But I think we are just about ready to get underway with everyone here. Let's get this show on the go. So let's bring that up. That in. There's my headset. Okay, I'm hoping that sound is coming through. Otherwise, I don't know what I've bloody done. Can you hear me? Shouldn't be that low. Ideal, just what we love. Glad to have you here again, Arby. Yeah, I'm doing really good, man. Although I'm trying to understand why the game sound isn't coming through. It seems to be a reoccurring thing at the moment. So I'm not 100% sure. Give me... Oh, hang on. There is no desktop audio, apparently. So we're just on board with Squirrel at the moment whilst I try and sort this out. Oh, that was the wrong button. I do apologise. I'm wondering. There we go. Figured it out. So, means I can't plug my headset in when I'm doing this. Ideal. Figured it out. So, Squirrel comes across the line, setting a 109.9 as the fastest lap. Zazu goes second with 110.6, just over half a second slower. And then G-Dan comes across the line, does a 110.5 in the Soul Mercedes today. No, he's not, actually. Zen is here. My apologies. Right, where's Sid? Because I'm all out of wax and he's trying to sort that out. Kingmaster, Hucky, one of our newest drivers, comes across the line at a 10.0. Kingmaster does a 10.33. Reese does it in an 11.0. Magster does it in a 12.5. Sid coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can pull off. Managing to keep it out of the wall, which is always a good thing. Crosses the line, does a 111.5. Arby in the Red Bull looks to be coming around the final couple of corners. Crosses the line in a 116.9. So must have had some sort of issue there because he's not normally this slow. Lippinen What's he doing? He is coming through sector 2 at the moment. Keeping it nice and tidy through there. Through the second DRS, coming down to the chicane hairpin. Keeps it nice and tidy through there. Well done. Heading up towards the final 2 corners. Nicely done. DRS wide open. Crosses a line in a 1:11.2. Very, very respectable time indeed. Where's Guesty? Guesty's there. Race is just ahead of him. Ooh, little snap on the rear axle there from Race. That Rack even. Ooh, someone else has done the time. Oh, Arby's improved. He's gone on a 1:09.9. That's more like him. Rack comes across the line, does a 1:12.8. I have a funny feeling that little snap on the rear axle did not help him at all. Guesty comes across the line on a 1:13.5. Hucky does it in a 1:9.632. 0.03 of a second quicker than Squirrel. Looks like we could have a new challenger. Harry and Police are on an outlap. Harry is literally about to start his flying lap, so let's stay on board with him whilst he does this. Keeping it nice and tidy through those. Taking as much curb as the car will allow him because he's very, very low. So top 3 are literally separated by just over 0.3 of a second. So I have a funny feeling we could have a really good race on our hands tonight. Tucks it in nice and neat. Unlike most, having the DRS wide open halfway through the corner. Goes across the line on a 1:9.588. Taking the pole position for now. So next one to set his first time will be Police King here. So we've got a few here that this is their home Grand Prix. One of them is Zen. This is another one, Police King. And also G-Dan. All Dutch drivers. So this will be their home Grand Prix today. So all hoping to have really good races. Police King comes down the line. Crosses it in a 1:11.888. Let's see what Zen can do. Crosses the line in a 1:14. Must have had some sort of issue there. Let's jump on board with Squirrels. He comes through to start his next flying lap. Well, not start, he's actually on it. So he's currently 0.2 up on his previous time. So I'll edge him closer to Hucky at the moment. Let's see what... Ooh, little bit of a snap there through the right-hander. I think he may have just clipped the wall there. And he seems to be unaffected. He goes faster by 0.004 of a second. So he does a 1:09.584 to Harry's 1:09.588. So this is going to be an extremely close race. Hucky and Abby are out on the fly... outlaps. Hopefully my voice is coming over the game this time. So let's jump on board of Hucky as he goes through his first corner. Yes. My voice is coming over it. Good. Ooh! Hucky loses it and loses his front wing in the process. He's still got plenty of time to get back and be able to get a new front wing. So it's not going to hinder him too much, thankfully. But that is highly unfortunate. So we'll jump on board of Arby as he comes through to do his next flying lap, see if he can get any closer to the guys in front. He's currently a 10th up on his previous time. So around the... Oh! Arby backs out of it. Oh, Max is on a flying lap and she's only down by 0.07 of a second. So easy to make that time up very, very quickly. So Zen did improve his time. He's actually on a 109.8. So we have 5 of them now in the 109s. Here comes Magster, crosses the line, improves by 0.04 of a second. So still inside the 112s. Harry's on his first part of his flying lap, so let's see if he can improve and not do a Hucky on us, which he seems to have done so far. He's 0.2 up on his previous time, so currently on course to set the quickest lap. Four tenths up in the second sector. Could he be the first ones into the first driver into the 108s? Yeah, Zen's a really good driver actually. And here comes Harry crossing the line. And he doesn't quite do it, but he does improve by 0.4 of a second. He does a 109.1. He is the closest driver to the 108s so far. So Hucky's on an outlap, Dan's on an outlap, King is 1/10 up on his previous time, and then goes wide. That is so unfortunate for him. If I was him, I'd just turn his ERS off and everything and just build it up. Sid is on the flying lap. Hopefully his teammate gets out of the way. He does quite nicely. Unfortunately, he's 0.4 down though on his previous time. How's Guesty doing? Guesty's up by 0.06 of a second on his previous time. Ooh, a little bit squirrely there on the rear end. Looks like we've got an Aston Martin going slow. That would be Hucky trying to get some free air. So we will jump on board with him next. Ooh, Guessy getting the rear axle coming round. Comes across the line. Doesn't improve though, unfortunately. Let's jump on board of Hucky, who is not currently trying to set a fastest lap. Maybe doesn't feel his tyres are quite warm enough. So Squirrel's out on a outlap. So Zen. So is RB. Let's jump on board with Dan, who is 1,000th of a second down on his previous time overall, or at least in that last sector. Does he improve? He does. He goes into the 109s as well. 109.721. Ever so slightly quicker than his teammate, who is literally on a flying lap as well as we speak. So let's jump on board of him. Two tenths down by the end of the first sector, but that means nothing. Still plenty of time to make up in the rest of the track. Especially this middle sector. Ooh. And then he loses it. Let's call it commentator's curse. So let's jump on board of Squirrels. He's fighting for the pole as well. He's just under 0.4 of a second off. Squirrel literally could take the lead of the championship after this. So he's 0.08 of a second quicker through the first sector. Using as much of the track as possible coming out of some of these corners. Red Bull moves out the way quite nicely. So he's 10th up on the second sector, apparently the fastest. Which could be interesting. DRS wide open, coming through the final corner. Keeps it out of the wall. Crosses the line, does a 109.344. And Hucky is still going slow. I wonder if he's backed out. He doesn't appear to be trying to do anything. So Harry, 0.05 of a second down on his previous time. I don't think Huxley, yeah, Huxley's decided to retire on the track. You should not be doing that. So 0.09 of a second through the second sector. Is that rain I see? It is. So Harry comes into the pits as well. Give me something we'll have to put into the damn rulebook. Everyone seems to be doing this. So I'm wondering if the track is maybe a little bit too damp now. Yep. Was that someone else literally retiring on track? Yeah, you cannot be doing this, guys. It does say in the rulebook that you can only retire in the pits. So, we have Harry out in pole on a 109.1, Squirrel in second, Hucky in third on his first race with us. G-Dan and Zen in the Mercedes, 4 and 5. And then we got Arby, Kingmaster, Zazu, Sid, Race, Lipman, Racknext, Police King, Guesty, and then RBR Magster. Hopefully I can. Don't forget, guys, do not ready up before the race. Here is it. Right, someone's getting a penalty. So we are on a formation lap. Looks to be nice and sunny at the moment. So, we're going to have an entertaining run down into turn one. We're going to see who's going to manage to get the perfect start. It's going to be close between the top three, I reckon. And then the rest are just a little bit behind, but not that much. And we're off. It looks like Harry's got the run down into turn one. I was looking at the wrong screen. Squirrel in second, Hucky in third. Zen's got past G down into fourth there. Arby is flowing down the grid ever so slightly. What's happened to him? Let's have a look. Doesn't appear to have any damage, which is good. Little lock up there from Harry. He's managing to pull away from Squirrel ever so slightly, but we got a nice little group here of Hucky, Zen, Dan, King, Race, Litmanen. All grouped up nice and close. Looks like Kingmaster's going to have a look down the inside of Chi down there. Ooh, may have overshot the corner ever so slightly. We will have a look to see what tyres people are running, because I did not do that. So, Harry. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the softs to start with. Looks like Dan is going to be battling with Racekip a little there through turn one, who's also on the softs. Means they are going to have to pit somewhat earlier. Looks like Dan may have got his braking spot ever so slightly wrong there. Harry has managed to pull out a 1 second gap already over the McLaren of Squirrel there. Him and Hucky are pulling out a gap to Zen. And then it's... Ooh! Zen got too much of the curb. Loses the rear axle of the car. Luckily enough, doesn't appear to be any damage. But that does put him down quite a bit. Hopefully Kingmaster didn't get any damage from that, so that is good. G-Dan, ooh, trying to ride the gravel whilst going up the inside of the Aston Martin there. You'd really want to stay off that gravel, damn. Looks like someone else is having issues. Looks like it was Zazu. Wonder if he also caught the gravel as well. Kingmaster's setting the fastest lap there on a 112.1. Snatching it away from Harry there. Lippmann having a great race so far. Straight up into 5th within the first 3 laps. This Red Bull certainly seems to suit him. So we'll stay on board with this little group, because it seems to be the biggest group so far. So you've got Lippmann and Race, Dan, Police King, Sid, and Arby, all in this little group. Although Kingmaster is getting ever closer there to Hucky. But they are on different tyre compounds. So let's jump on board of this lot. Like I said, you've got 6 cars here in one little group. So Lippmann pulls over, defends his line, and Race goes round the outside of him quite easily there with the assisted DRS. Looks like Hucky has had an issue because he was in 3rd. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We now have a 7-car traffic line. So, we got Hucky, Race, teammates currently in the Aston Martin. Hucky is a reserve at the moment, but that might change soon. Lippmann and Dan, Police King, Arby, Sid, and... ooh, that's a Ferrari pulling out of the way. So, Kingmaster gets past Squirrel here. But again, the tyre difference is going to make a huge part there. Abby gets past Police King on the run down to turn 1. Zazu gets past Magster. He's not having a bad start to the race. God, this group are literally following each other, and it looks like Police King's looking to have another... it's like bite back at Arby after that overtake on the start-finish straight. Oh, Sid goes ever so wide, but luckily enough, yeah, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. Could we track re-entry dangerously? Which is unfortunate. Oh, and Dan and Lippmann having a bit of a battle there as well. The Aston Martins are slowly starting to pull away. Squirrel's looking to come back at King here. Gonna get it done. Race and Hucky change positions. Lippmann and Dan having their battle again. Dan seems to get a better drive through the corner than what Lippmann does. Oh, Race having a little bit of a slide on the rear axle there. So Sid and Zen, not quite sure what happened there, but Zen seems to have lost some ground on him. Police King seems to have lost some ground on this group as well now. Not quite sure. Oh, that was one of the Aston Martins. You really do not want to be in the gravel, mate. Luckily enough, doesn't have the same issue as what Sid did in re-entering the track. Going to be a bit slower though. Oh, G-Dan and Lippmann having their battle again. This could be an entertaining thing throughout the race. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3 that looks like it could have been Sid, perhaps? So Sid is in the pits. I don't know where he's got any damage. Yes, he has. Front wing, and he's going to be changing that now. Battle between these two is continuing. We're just about to come into the DRS section. However, it's not the longest run down to the next corner, so... Although Squirrel does appear to be pulling in that gap to first place in certain places. And Dan is having a look around the outside, decides against it, gets a good run instead out of the corner. If he stays close enough into DRS set activation, he'll be able to get a slingshot down into turn 1, but he's also got the Red Bull there of Arby closing. Ooh, Dan forgot to turn on his DRS and left it rather late. Arby attempted the outside of race kit there. So Dan taking the longer way around in that corner, getting the better traction ever so slightly coming out. This is going to be interesting between these lot. Zen is catching Hucky. Looks like that Red Bull of Arby is out of DRS at the moment. Oh no. Let's jump on board. No, not at the moment. Arby down the inside there of Race Kit. Police King with a 3-second warning there. 3-second penalty. So Arby getting that jump down the inside of Race Kit there into the corner. But, oh, this is proving to be an amazing battle between these four. Squirrel and King change your position again, but we are going to stay on board with this lot because there we go. Dan's actually got his DRS wide open at the right time now. Looks like Race could be missing out on a few positions here now. See, lack of DRS down that back straight. Zazu past Police King as well. Ooh, I'll be getting a little bit loose on the rear axle there coming through turn 4. So Sid is now on the hard tyres after his pit. Hoping that that can sustain him until the end of the race. Going to be an interesting battle between these two. And the rest are just going to be following along, hoping to pick up anything that's left over. I have a funny feeling Race Kits and Lippmann's tyres are going to be falling off ever so slightly soon. Although Squirrel doesn't. Oh, little bit of a mistake there from RB, allowing Dan up the inside. The only problem is going to hinder Dan coming down the start-finish straight because now he's not going to have any DRS. So there goes RB past Dan. Race could be no, ever so slightly behind, not going to be able to do it, but Race did lose out to Lippmann in there down the straight. Looks like Zen got past Hucky as well. Zen is now closing in on this group as well. He's also bringing Hucky along with him. Oh, Sector 2, who is that? That is Sid. Is that a bit of a spin or something perhaps? It seems to be up and running again though, so that's a good thing. So Harry's managing to contain his tyres pretty well. out front there on the softs. I apologise if that's in your ears, guys. But Dan and Ivy are able to pull away ever so slightly ahead of these two with the soft tyres. Zen is caught up massively. Is Dan too far back? Yes, he is. Ivy doing what most people do and just move off the line just to stop the use of the slipstream there. So Zen is now putting race under pressure. Oh, sector 2. Looks like it could be Sid again. It is, unfortunately. So Zen is going to pile the pressure onto race here. So it looks like Lippman is losing ground to the two medium runners ahead of him. So yeah, I have a funny feeling that the softs are starting to fall off now. I say that and then Zen loses rear end. So, how's Dan going to do it this time? Too far back. We got a sector 1 issue. Who was that? That is the Sauber of Ben on cold tyres. Magster gets past King, and then King gets passes back on Magster. He's grabbing a bottle of cider, but the race is too good. So Dan appears to be slightly closer to RB this time, getting the slipstream the entire way. Outbreaks him into the corner, round the outside. Does he manage to get the position stick? He does! And Dan finally gets past RB there. After many laps of trying and following, he has finally got it done. Patience has prevailed. Squirrels lost out to King. Not quite sure what happened. He had a bit of a gap to him. So Zen finally got past Hucky. I did miss that. Oh no, it's Race that he's putting under pressure in it, of course. So Dan has managed to put a 6-tenth gap back on RB. So Liverpool has a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is really unfortunate for him. Hucky is retired. What happened to Hucky? Hucky retired in the pit. What on earth? He was having such a relatively decent race. So, RB is cleared Dan, which I have missed because answering one of our drivers. So, Zen is now up into 6th. So I'm just trying to catch up now because I was answering one of our drivers in Discord. So, Squirrel got back past King here. RB and Dan are still having their battle. I don't think this one's going to end for some race. Zen is not too far behind. Zazu's a little further back. Magster still on the softs. In fact, there's a few of them still on the softs. Lippman has pitted and now on nice fresh mediums. Race is on the hards. Probably not the best thing to have gone for. King has come into the pits. Coming out, is he going to stay second? 7th? 6th? He is. So he's coming out on fresh mediums now. So he's now going to be trying to hunt down Squirrel and Harry, as that was his battle. This battle has been raging on for basically the entire race, and they could be my drivers of the day. I don't think I'll be able to pick from one of them. Police King with a further 3-second penalty. Lippman is going to suffer later on unless he has a second pit stop, because he's got a 10-second penalty, which is going to really suck for him. Oh. Okay. Abby did read the rules. But yeah, this battle just gets better and better as the race goes on. Zen manages to catch every now and again through certain corners. Oh, we got a Ferrari round by the looks of things. In Sector 3, that would be Police King. Magster's losing out. Oh, she's gone into the pits, that's why. So Squirrel is now in the lead. Now that Harry is finally pitted. He's the one on the longest run on the softs currently. Dan is getting closer, closer round the outside of RB through turn 1. Both leaving space. The only problem is coming through there, yeah, you're gonna... It's a bit of a nightmare getting inside the outside. I'm surprised he didn't go for the inside line. But it's allowing Zen to catch up, because now Zen's getting pulled along by Harry. Harry's probably just going to sail past these two because his pace is unbelievable. And he's right on the back of Dan already and about to go down the inside of him. A little shake of the wheel there, maybe to apologise for the bump into the corner. It's not going to be too bad because... How's this going to work out for Dan? Yeah, he's fallen back a bit now. But Harry's now up into second. Well within pit time of Squirrel. But Squirrel's going to be going on to the softs. Guesty been loose position on rack a little bit further down. Section 1, bit of an issue. Not sure what it was. Everyone seems to be getting through it fine. So Dan pretty much on the back of RB already. Oh, little bump there from Dan. Kingmaster up into 5th already. Oh, Dan is ever so closer. Is he going to get the run? Decides against it. Oh, Arby gets out of whack through that hairpin, allowing Dan into 3rd. However, this is going to put Dan under pressure from 2 drivers, not just 1. Because King is also coming down. King had a look. Please King with another 3-second penalty, so he's now on 9 seconds. Fantastic racing through this lot. Harry's managed to close in a further 2 seconds on Squirrel. Oh, King has just spun Dan. That is through a lack of attention. And then King has lost it a little bit further on, or was that Zen? Zen lost it a little bit further on and now has part of his front wing missing. He does. He has the front right end plate gone. I'm not sure whether that's another incident with King there. So Zen will be diving into the pits now to change his tyres. However, I don't think he's going to make softs last 15 laps. I could be wrong. Some of them have. So Harry is now within 11 seconds of Squirrel. King is closing in on RB here. Dan isn't too far behind. Lipman is now up into 6th. Racing 7th. Zen in 8th. Now on fresh tyres. The same as Zazu. Harry has now set the quickest time at a 1:11.3. That is epic. Squirrel is in the pits. Dan is also in the pits. You're going to be jumping onto the softs at the same time as Squirrel. Squirrel's already out and within the 7-second mark of Harry. Limonen and Race nearly getting the jump. No, Race won't be getting the jump on Dan. So, Arby doing really well here. 21 laps on his set of mediums. Possibly coming in this lap to try and cover off Dan. We do have a yellow in sector 3. Could that be Zen having some issues? Zen is back in the pits. And RB does indeed dive into the pits to try and cover off Dan this time round. So, we don't really have anyone close fighting at the moment. However, Let's see where Litmanen comes out in comparison to Dan. Looks like Dan had a pretty stonking lap, to be fair. He's under the 2.5 second mark. Behind RB, I thought he was losing his rear end then. I think he was, but he managed to catch it. So the two Red Bulls are 4th and 5th currently. Squirrel is definitely catching Harry here, but Harry's got some tremendous pace. So Squirrel now setting the fastest lap with a 1:11.190. This is just to show Sector 3. We got another issue. Could that be the Ferrari or could that be Zen again? No, it doesn't appear to be anyone. Not quite sure what it was then. RB takes Litmanen down the start-finish straight. Does set the fastest sector on the final part. So Dan is not really closing much on Litmanen at the moment. Taking little snippets here. Oh, I say that, and then he's closed in nearly 0.3 of a second in the space of 3 corners. So this could be the new battle here. So Dan now within DRS range. Coming down the start finish straight. Not quite close enough to get it done this lap. Zen getting past Police King. Oh, Dan definitely got the better traction out of that corner. It's allowing him to really start to feel comfortable in these tyres. Still not quite within the DRS range of RB just yet, but he is closing. And there we go. He's within that gap now. Can he get decent traction out of this corner just to be able to stay in it? Yes, he does. And our fight is again underway between these two. However, I am pretty sure that RB started on the mediums. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, DRS down towards the chicane. Dan doesn't take the lunge. However, gets brilliant traction out of that hairpin. Not quite as brave through that part of the corner as what RB is, but he's within the range now. His usual thing around the outside through turn 1. He's going to need amazing traction here to be able to stay up the inside. You really need to take that inside line, Dan. If you're going to hope to make that stick, you're going to need that inside line, my friend. Let's see what ERS they've got. No, wrong one. So Dan has got 100 and Arby's only got 30. He's not using any of his ERS. She's ever so closer this time round. Down the inside. Force it. See, he's not using any of his ERS. Race kit now with a 3-second penalty. Looks like Dan has finally got it done this time round. Squirrel within 3 seconds of Harry up front. We will keep an eye on the time, and if it does get closer, we will jump on board. I have a funny feeling Arby's going to have to pit again. Surprisingly, no safety cars or virtual safety cars this race so far. So Arby has managed to save some ERS whilst being behind Dan here. Right, slam your ERS on now. Yeah, see, Arby hasn't really got much left. So now's the time to make him use it. See, Arby uses it a lot better than what Dan does. Dan is so much better through that corner, especially the entry of it. He doesn't get the same exits. So Squirrel's now within 1.6 seconds of Harry here. However, this is still the race to watch at the moment. Sid doing the right thing and getting off the line as they go through the corner. Dan is so much closer. But Arby just slams that door shut. And here comes Dan. Needs to get a better exit out of this corner, and he does. So Dan is now in front again. I said this battle was never ending between these two. Pardon me. I'll be not using it this time around, and neither's Dan. Now. See, Dan isn't using enough of it. Now. See, because Arby's using his. Does Dan have a problem with using his ERS? So, 32 out of 36 laps. Squirrel is ever closer to the possibility of taking a win this race. What's the betting? There we go. Oh, Arby's almost out. I knew you'd have to pit. So, Dan is on the way to securing 4th place. Looks like our little fight there is all but over between those two. But however, the front two in the final 3 laps are within a second of one another. Squirrel has been lap after lap just slowly chipping away. Looks like that was Guesty Ben that just went off there. Or would it be Magster? No, it was Magster. No, it was Guesty Ben. Magster's just up ahead of them. So Squirrel is the closest he has been to Harry for the majority of the race. 92 and 32. However, Harry is dangerously low on fuel here. So he's underfueled compared to most, which is never a bad thing sometimes, as long as you can get it just right. Sector 2 yellow flag, that would be, I'm going to guess Sid. Unfortunately having another issue. No, I could be wrong actually. I have a funny feeling that's Zazu. Because this lot are coming up to him. Let's quickly have a look. I was right, Zazu. Arby now setting the quickest up on a 111.188 on those softs. However, he's got a lap to try and catch Dan in. I don't think he's going to get it done. Four, three. Not quite close enough to get it done yet, but he is ever closer. So, last lap. And we have these two in the fiercest battle for the win here at Zandvoort. Whatever happens, Squirrel will take the lead of the championship. Squirrel and Harry both flashing on their fuel, so they're both at the final part of it. Could be within the last, what, 2-3 laps of their fuel. Round the corner. Harry definitely getting better traction out of some of these corners. So we are going to have a sprint down. No! Squirrel gets a 3-second penalty on the final lap. So Harry will come along to be the victor. Or will he? Or will he? Squirrel wins it on track. However, Harry does take the win because of the 3-second penalty. So Squirrel will definitely get second. Dan is literally on the gearbox of King Master here. Is it going to be another slingshot like it happened with Squirrel? Oh, King. That's getting reported even from me. Dan takes third position. That was an amazing finish to the end of his race there. King taking fourth. However, that was very, very bad sportsmanship from you. Arby comes across the line to take fifth. Lippmann takes fifth. Racekip going to take seventh. Zazu looks like he's going to be taking eighth. Arby ninth. Zen in 10th. King in 11th. Gesty in 12th. 13th will be Race. In fact, Zen and Magster will both clear Police King. Race in 13th and 14th ends up being Sid. So great race and all. Yes, it was very dirty driving by King there on the last lap. Unfortunately for him, if Dan doesn't report him, I will be. Because we do not accept that in this league at any stage, at any form. Also, if there is anyone watching, can you please save, if you're on PlayStation, save your replay of that. And send me the link when you post it up, please. I need to check something out. But yes, congratulations to Harry for taking the victory due to a penalty for Squirrel in the final lap, which was really, really unlucky. So yeah, great race by the top three, especially Dan, who had a, yes, I know, amazing. And our best Dutch person was Dan, who ended up third. Race ended up in 7th, Zen in 10th, and then Police King in 11th. Yeah, I need to see who readied up into the formation lap, because they will be getting a penalty. I'm fed up with it now. So guys, thank you for attending the race today, listening to me rav it on and everything else. Yeah, it's been great having you along. I will be here next week when we are at, where are we next week? We're at Belgium and we have a sprint race as well. So 2nd of March, I'll be doing 2 streams on the 2nd of March. I don't know if any of you are interested in watching the reveal for Season 5 of GT. And hopefully on that same week I'll have a new opening or new intro and everything set up for the league as well. So every video you watch will have a new opening. And a countdown as well, hopefully, if all goes well. So again, thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Okay, I'll reach yours in a minute. Same place, same time next week, and then we go to, like I said, we go to Belgium, and we'll have a sprint race, and no doubt, as always, there'll be rain, because you know, it's Belgium. But until then, have an amazing rest of your weekend, guys. And like I said, cheers, Frank. Thank you very much. I do enjoy doing this, I must admit. Ever since I stopped racing in F1, we needed a comms man because our last one unfortunately stopped. I've kind of taken over, and I enjoy it. I love watching the races, so it just yeah, it seemed fitting, and I'm just glad people enjoy it. But yes, like I said, see you next week. 7 o'clock the stream will start, and like I said, hopefully we'll have a new intro and everything for next week as well. So until then, guys, thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend,